Rob, thank you very much. Head coach Dan Bylsma telling the media this morning that you were considering several options as far as not having Sidney Crosby in the lineup and how your lines would come together. Well, it's a little bit later in the day. Have we considered those options?
We have considered the options, and we'll bring up Mark Letestu. We saw Mark for a few games, did some good things, both 5-on-5 in the power play. He'll be inserted on the third line with Pascal Dupuis and Ruslan Fedotenko. Gino will go between Max and Billy Guerin, and Stahl's line will largely get the checking duties tonight to go against their top line. So that rounds out our top three, and our fourth line will be the same.
I know Sid's not the only guy on your team, but he does a lot of different things, some little, some big. What kind of effect does he have on your offense and your special teams when he's not in the lineup?
Well, special teams will look a little bit different. We won't have his face-off on the penalty kill, which we've used the last few games. But on the power play, Gino will be on the half wall's normal spot, and we'll see a combination of Jordan Stahl mostly down there on the goal line where Sidney's usually at, and Billy Guerin in front of the net. Mark Letestu will get some time on the second power play unit.
This is the second time that we've seen Chicago in probably a little less than a year. Last year at Chicago, now they've come here. And the one thing that we've heard a lot of is that they are very comparable to a young, talented Penguin squad from a couple of years ago. Do you share that same assessment, and what things stand out the most about them?
Yeah, I wish we played them more and got to see them more of their game team. We see them on the highlights. We see what their players can do individually and when they get on the score sheet. But when you look at their lineup, you see two really young, talented players, guys that score great goals, are big factors for their team. But you also see a defense of unit that is in the play, both power play-wise, getting up ice, and making great outlet passes to those forwards. So a lot like our team. A lot of similarities, and they've won now. They've started to get the wins in the win column. They've had some success in the playoffs, and now they're looking for that next step as well. So a barometer for our team, a great team in the West, and an up-and-coming team that should be contending for the league.
All right, Coach, best of luck tonight.
Thank you very much, Dan.
Rob King at the Dan and Dan Show has spoken. Now it's your turn.